So I have 2 by Kevin Young and 3 by yours truly. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the second piece. So this first one, to me, is a fine example of a contemporary blues poem. Some of these parts are in italics, and for those parts I will be saying those words softly. So, how to make rain. Start with the sun, piled weeks deep on your back after you haven't heard rain for an entire growing season, and making sure to face due north, spit twice into the red clay, stomp your silent feet, waiting rain, rain to bring the washing in, rain of reaping rusty tubs of rain. Wish aloud to be caught in the throat of the dry well, head kissing your back, a bent spoon for groundwater, to be sipped from. Slow courting rain, rain that falls forever, rain which keeps folks inside and makes late afternoon babies. Begin to bury childhood clothes, wrap them around stones and skulls of doves, then mark each place well enough to stand the coming storm. Rain of our fathers, shoeless rain, the devil is beating his wife, rain, rain learned early in the bones. Plant these scarecrow people face down, wing, and bony anchor, then wait until they grow roots and skeletons. Sudden soaking rain that draws out the nightcrawler, rain of forgetting, rain that asks for more rain, rain that can't help but answer. What you are looking for must fall. What you are looking for is deep among clouds. What you want to see is a girl selling kisses beneath cottonwood, is a boy drowning inside the earth. Thank you. And let's see. And this is a piece that he calls an outtake. It's really awesome. The uncollected pieces that are in here, he calls them outtakes, like they're a part of an album. So I thought that was pretty cool. Trying to find this. Hang on just a second. Rapture. I want to be awake when the world ends. I want to be my friend who rose to an empty house, even his grandmother and her worn cross gone, and thought it was the rapture, that he hadn't crossed over. Let me rip my shirt as he did and tear into the street hollering. Let me hear only my blood beat this morning, in the rain before the dawn, no one on the line. Later, when they return, let those I love who left have only gone to the store, running errands, this errant, unebbing life. After, let what I've torn, the myself I mourn, be mended and start over, like a scar or star. So, Kevin Young. And this piece was recently published, along with 2 others. It was on the site. For about 3 years, I thought they only published one of the pieces, but it was all 3, so I'm happy. Your infinite ink runs through. Now we're starting to get into the more intimate pieces. Your infinite ink runs through my mortal pen. Let Erato have the golden reins of love poetry, for you are the goddess of words. Words are all we have, thanks to your gracious breath, thanks to your mental semblance, thanks to your infinite tidal wave. Your infinite tidal wave washes over my mere shoreline. Water-filled bliss browses windows that display pastic fads. We do not let a rose with thorns on its side to prick us. Blood, creativity juice, permanent, similar, and irreconcilable. Your infinite serenity gallops around my limited sanity, and you keep me supplied, and you let me hold your entirety, and your love led me to ecstasy, and your celestial twinkle is all I need. This one is a tad more graphic, and a brief word about this one. This was a a piece that stems from this project that I put on hold for about 8 years up until last year when I finally decided to write it. It was a collection of erotic poetry and poems turned songs with a spiritual twist. And this is the title and seminal piece of the book, and it was recently published. So, Naomi's Mirror. She is unavailable, crystal moon woman, girl who licks glass in ecstasy. Her tongue becomes shards and she melts into magenta puddles smelling of jasmine and other earthen fragrances. She is emotionally unavailable, uneven star formation lady, forcefully reminded of trauma sans recollection of incidents. An earthquake within, tremors do not cease until memory of his unwanted touch fades. She loves it when you tell her what is on her mind. Illustrious illusions, delectable delusions. She is physically unavailable, platinum sun girl, touching herself until the mouth of flames consumes her completely from gushing inner heat exhaustion. Coming to astral realization, she cannot be anyone without herself awake. She is spiritually unavailable, dreaming neon prism goddess, transforming herself into doppelganger strangers, assists in the snow-blind quest to find herself before the fleet of scarlet battleships conduct her hasty trial, and all the while she laughs with gusto, lacking an audience, changes in her tone through sung Eastern ballads, indulges in the sciences of day, drinking night potion. 'Tis time to come home to her consciousness and reflect. She refuses to be silenced, liberation fighting femme. A battle axe of speeches wins the open fist-fighting tournament. Egalitarian for life, her dream spheres rise and set in unison, motions of perfection. With one voice of solidarity, she crosses her eyes and sees only a checkered past. Never under the knife's mercy, her weaponry is lyrical and remains unchallenged. Sensitive to any blinding and deafening touch, she expels the ringing bells of anti-shame, reverberating off of cathedral stone entrances, synagogue stained glass sanctuaries, mosque floor carpets rising and conquering, neo-pagan forest soil vibrations. She is an echo of my disoriented figure. She is an echo of my amplified echo. She is a conscience of my ear's reception, takes the form of vermilion mist, the particles of summer sunflowers dancing on the eyes of innocent temple attendees. Everything they know is written in patriarchal tablets, knowing nothing of the victorious other sides. She bathes in the spoils earned from mental wars, for every apocalyptic day in her head is a victory. 'Tis time to return home to glass backward replica and reflect. Thank you. And last but not least, this is based on a recent intimate experience. Not that. Whoops. How many are you familiar with floating or body floats? Anyone at all? It's really unique. It's become popular over the last, I think, decade. You get into this tank or this pod, it depends on where you are. You can do this for 30 or 60 or 90 minutes. They fill the room temperature water with Epsom salts and oils and whatnot. You take a shower beforehand. You completely strip yourself, and then you go into this tank, and you're literally floating. It's like you're in the Dead Sea. You can choose what to do, what you want with your time. For me, I meditate. I try and transcend my inner self as much as possible, if that's possible. And this is based on my first floating experience. It was something else, and I encourage each and every one of you to try it. It does cost a pretty penny, unfortunately, but it's wonderful. So, and they had this journal there where people just write down their experiences, and I just started writing this poem. And I said to the person up front, I know I can't tear this page out, but I really want to take it home. Can you, copy it or something? But took a picture of it instead, so my chicken scratch is in that notebook, and everybody's going to try and decipher my hieroglyphics as much as possible. So, Beyond an infinite lifetime, a post-float poem. Perfectly centered within myself, concentric circles make waves, make me known to the universe, make me view meditative earth. Ice crystals melt, nude vulnerability enters, budding Buddha of a man, the human being with no name. Shiva smiles at me in the darkness. Soon the Saleen Queen forms solutions in this floating scene. Meeting of the minds, hovering delicately over this astral projection chain. See the unknown blossom before her refined eyes, a multitude of dazzling oral pleasures, a plethora of befuddling aquatic gifts. She is Poseidon's right-hand woman. She is Blake's illuminated muse. I hear her aquatic whispers. I hear my solitudinarian echo amplify in this splash of artificial emerald, matching the chakras, kissing my aura with new-found passion, then fades to ebony shutting eyes, and I turn to face myself beneath myself. Inner self speaks tongues to which Gaia absorbs. Thank you very much. So a couple announcements. Next week, next Monday actually, is the first Monday reading at Nocturne. It will begin at 7:30, and I also have business cards with me to lead you to my website. I will continue to send emails, of course, but my website does have those exact details on the events page. And another fun announcement, I recently checked out this place on El Dorado and Space Center called Art of Coffee, and they're actually hosting an open mic as we speak right now, which is both great and unfortunate at the same time. But I set it up with the event manager, and starting the second Wednesday of next month, I will be hosting an open mic there, which will start at about 6, I believe. We'll get the exact details and relay that to you by next week. So, yeah. So if you'd like cards, I have them, so you can keep up with events, or if you'd like to be on the email list and for me to bug you every month, I'd be happy with that as well. Are there any other poetry, music, arts-related announcements at all? And with that, thank you very much, poetry lovers, for coming tonight. And one more hand for Fatima, our featured reader. Poetry lives. Have a great night.